Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon oracle cards by Stacey DeMarco. All right, already shuffled. Relationship first, single second. 1, 2, 3. All right, your partner's is very curious, and there's a lot of energy around that. That's where the strongest energy is. I feel like this is yet to happen. Okay, so when it's starting with this situation, your partner is very happy, feels very accomplished in this relationship, feels like they're very comfortable here, like things are where they should be, and happy with that. I have the Three of Cups. I feel like it's pretty much the same energy. It's very social atmosphere around you at this point. I feel like you're happy to be with your partner. You seem to be enjoying more social times with your partner. It feels good right here. This is good. And I'm not really seeing anything really that bad right now. But I do see something changing here a little bit. Now, I know you have a lot of love for your partner because I'm seeing the Two of Cups, but we're not into that just yet. There's a hidden aspect around your partner. Let's flip these 2 cards. 3 cards. There's a person around them. Page of Swords reversed. 3 of Wands reversed. And the 2 of Wands on its side. It's like a situation around your partner. It's not coming. Is it coming? It's not coming towards you. It's not like nobody's working against you, but somebody's giving your partner a hard time. Your partner's going through something with other. I don't know if this is like a work thing. For some of you, it could, but it's directly connected to your partner. Somebody's giving them a hard time, and it's not really moving on. Somebody's like just saying things that aren't factual. It could be deliberately, or it could just be just a rotten energy that they're just a jerk. They're causing the cancellation of plans is what I'm getting. This is what I'm seeing here. The Two of Wands on its side is telling me your partner may have to cancel something based on somebody else's poor action, but it's up in the air whether that's really going to happen or not. So something might fail due to somebody else's poor action. It's not your partner, somebody else, and they're not really sure. Your partner's not sure if that's actually going to fall through or not. And I feel like they're just trying to get through it. They're trying to get through it, and they're trying to accept it for what it is. There's just something here they don't have any control over. And I just feel like when they're going through this, it's bothering them. Now, I see when you get a hold of this, what's happening. I feel like what you're hearing of it, you're trying to get your partner to handle it, to do something about it, you're trying to direct them, like, don't just sit there and let this happen. Get in there and fight for what you want. I feel like that's your energy saying, don't just let this happen. Do something to fix it. I feel like that's your energy coming towards them. Like, if this was happening to you, you'd be like, well, you need to find out what's happening so you can put it back on track, because you're not going to just let this fall away because somebody else made a bad decision. You're going to try to recoup what you want from it, because there's no reason you should suffer for somebody else's bad decision. You have a lot of energy with this. You're like, this is not okay. Now, to be fair, you're getting limited information is what I'm getting. And they're giving you, your challenge card is the Knight of Swords. Like, they're saying you really want your partner to fight for this, and you're communicating that very strongly, but this is your challenge card. They're saying the first thing you need to do is realize you're not getting the whole scope of things. There's a lot, like, I feel like these are people your partner deals with constantly. Your partner, he, she, they, whatever they may be, they know these people a lot better than you do. Which is all they're bringing that forward is, like, there's certain things your partner can and cannot do, your partner has to be careful about stepping on certain toes because that could come back in a bad way later. I don't see them explaining this to you, or if they are, they're not effectively doing it. It's not working. And they're saying, trust your partner to handle this. I do feel like the reason you know about this is because they're trying to vent out how they're feeling and they're trying to sort out their feelings. I just feel like it's bothering you, like they're going to miss out on something and it's not fair, and you're like, fight for it. Don't let this just be taken from you. I do see like you have a lot of love for your partner. You don't want them to miss out. You don't think that's fair. You got the Ace of Cups here where you're standing. You got the growth right with it. This is spiritually, like you care for your partner. You're like, no, this shouldn't happen to you. That's not fair. I don't think that should happen. You got to fight for this. Don't let somebody just ruin something for you just because they made a bad decision. Don't let that happen. And I also see the protection here with the Two of Cups. Like you would get in there and fight for them if you could, but you're like, I can't get in there and fight this battle for you. You got to fight it yourself. Don't let this happen. You're actually having protective instincts is what I'm getting. And you're just kind of like, don't let this happen to you. It's not right. Don't let this happen. Now, I do see you're having a positive effect on your partner. They are taking some of what they have from you. Because I do see like the Six of Pentacles is like they are trying to find out more information. They are trying to get in there and try to see what they can do. But they also have the Eight of Pentacles. It's going to take some time. And I feel like the sooner they realize it, the better they're going to be. Because the challenge card for them is the Temperance card. Other things have to come together. This has not completely come together yet. They do have to wait it out a little bit. So keeping in check with the situation, keeping abreast of what's happening, keeping the information flowing towards them, you're inspiring that. They do need to do that. But they can't just go in there and win the battle. It's going to take some time. The Eight of Pentacles is also telling that to me. Like this is not quite the time to fix this. But they need to keep the information flowing towards them and keep their ears open and feel it coming towards them so that when the opportunity comes, they can possibly do something. Possibly. It is going to take some time. And I feel like this might be a heads up for you too to realize, even if they don't realize it, maybe this information coming to you right now is saying this is going to take some time. More things have to come together. This other person making a bad decision, that has to kind of work itself out to see like what's really left to fix afterwards. While it's still going through the process, it's really undependable to find out what you're actually handling. It's got to come to rest, and once it's come to rest, your partner can do something with it. Which may not seem fair or ideal, but that's kind of what I'm feeling here, because there's outlying situations your partner's just not going to be able to affect is what I'm getting. So what they're saying is, what's going to actually help you is like when you inspire your partner to move forward, that's great. Keep them communicating with you, but just reinforce like what they've done is good enough that they're going to have to actually hold back and just wait to see how it pans out. Because I feel like what they're saying is ultimately you don't have the power to really do anything for them. Inspiring them to stay in the loop, to keep the information flowing to them. That's what you need to do. That would help the situation. Tell them, keep in the loop. What's happening? Keep in the loop. Keep the information flowing to you. Yes, this will not be the time for them to take action other than keeping information flowing towards them and keep absorbing information. I also see that what's actually going to help them, it's going to help them in relation to you, but help them with that situation as well, that you're very invested in, for what I'm getting. You're like, I don't like this. This should not be happening. They have to be very caring, almost empathic, if they can be, to what everybody else is going through. They have to realize not only you and how you are invested in them and you care what happens to them, but they also have to realize the other players in this situation, they're not the only one that's getting shortchanged. And they can bond together with those people also getting shortchanged, and then also try to bring that person who made the bad decision, trying to be more empathetic to that person where possible. By being more empathetic and more caring to the whole situation, it does seem to help things correct. I'm getting a very caring atmosphere, a very caring attitude with your partner. Kind of like possibly in a forgiveness mode. Possibly, it depends. But trying to be more empathetic, kind of like nobody purposely tried to tank the situation. And trying to go at it from that aspect. because I feel like it's kind of like more, you get more bees with sugar, you know what I mean? More bees with honey. That's probably what I should say. More bees with honey. If it's sugar, that's still sugar, works better than vinegar either way. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, you also want to say what's going to help your partner with this situation is more of a positive, cooperative attitude. You definitely want to keep information flowing towards them, but less fight and more friend. That will actually work in their benefit. I think that makes sense, because that's, you want to kind of promote that with them. More friend and less fight. Keep information flowing. The more friendly the information is, the more honest the information is. And that's what they need right now. I think we're good. Okay. I'm going to shut that down there. It's interesting how that came in. Because the way it feels is like this external situation around them that's unfair is really upsetting you. It's happening to them, but it's upsetting you because you're like, I wouldn't let that happen to me. I don't think that should happen to you. I feel like that's your attitude towards it, to be fair. All right. What do we have for Aquariuses that are single? Single Aquarians. What do we have for single Aquarians? Messages for single... I want to stop. Okay. Stop. Single Aquarians. You got the Justice card right in the center, which does kind of make me feel Libra feel there because you got the scales there. So you could be dealing with a Libra. I don't usually like to go that way, but I don't know why that's popping in. I don't usually say those things, but there could be a Libra connection here. If not, this is definitely about things working out fairly, things coming back around, like kind of like the karma feel there. I am feeling that Libra feel. Libra is a good match for Aquarius, usually. I think I'm going to get off that now. Alright, now, I feel like we're going to go into the future, then jump back to the past about something else that's actually working out. Now, you got Justice coming in. You got the Wheel of Fortune coming in. Something or someone you you might have recently walked away from. You might have walked away from somebody because you didn't think they were on the up and up. You thought what they did, or something you saw them do in the past, or something you heard about you thought was unsavory. And as you're going into the future, I feel like you're releasing the past. There's Three of Swords reversed, and I feel like the Three of Swords was here originally, and I feel like you're forgiving somebody for something, or you're releasing a past thought. Like you thought what they did was a bad thing, but you've learned things since then, and you're realizing, you know what they did makes sense, and you're not holding it against them. Because, quite frankly, if you thought somebody was a liar, or you thought somebody was vicious, or something like that, you're like, well, I don't want that in my life. So you walked away from it. But as time has progressed, you found out the truth about why they did what they did, and you're actually looking at this in a different perspective, kind of like, well, if that happened to me, I can see me doing the same thing. So what I viewed before as a bad thing, I kind of have more understanding for now. So I'm going to let that be. I'm going to release that negativity. And just, it's not my business anyway, but I'm seeing like the way I viewed it before is not how I'm viewing it now. Done. Okay. So you're letting the past be the past. You're releasing the past. You're not being held to it. Justice is also coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. This might be coming in right now where you're figuring out what actually happened and why they actually did what they did, which might be the reason you're releasing that now and why that's showing up right now. Because it's creating a new beginning and you're releasing the past. Again. Releasing. Again. You're letting it go. Because of this, you are trying with this person. Now, I'm also getting a weird sense here. Like this person, they're not sure how to take you. They kind of like, they seem to be a little confused. They're like, you said no before, but now you seem interested, and I don't understand why you're... I don't feel like they understand why, and they're questioning it. They got the Page of Cups, and they also have the Eight of Swords here, kind of like, they do like you, but they're not understanding why you said no before, and now you seem interested. Now they seem a little confused by it, is what I'm getting. With the Page of Cups, I'm feeling like they just don't understand why you're doing what you're doing now. And I also see like this, I do see like it is kind of connecting to both of you, them a little more than not actually. The Knight of Pentacles, like they still like you, but they're not comfortable. They're like they're not understanding what's happening. I feel like that's the only thing I'm getting from that. So I'm just gonna stick with that. That ironically, that card should be in a position for you, but I feel like it's more for them. To tell you the truth, it feels like it's them. They still feel the same way about you, but they don't understand why you have a change of heart. They don't get it. Now, as it keeps coming forward, the Knight of Pentacles, no, the Knight of Cups, yes. The Knight of Cups coming in with the Will is making me feel like things are going well as they keep going forward, and I feel like you're not bringing up the past. You're literally looking just to get rid of it. And the reason you're looking to get rid of it is kind of like you don't want to explain how you used to feel. In your thoughts, it's kind of like that's not going to help anything. They're not going to like that. It's not really improving anything. So you just want to leave it in the past. You're like, it's not really for me to talk about anyway. And if I acknowledge I had created an opinion based on just something I saw, that might go poorly anyway. So you're kind of like, that's just not going to help the situation. Let's just let it go. And I do see like you're trying to overshadow it, kind of like, it just took me a while to really get to know you, and I just had to, take a minute to, release, things I was going through. I was going through my own little personal things, and technically it kind of was. I just see you kind of like, you don't want to bring in the past. You don't want to you don't want to dredge that into this because you're like, that could just be a problem. Things are going well enough, and I feel like it's taking a while, but you're just trying to smooth that over to where they just kind of don't center on that. You're just trying to vaguely move it into the past, kind of like, yeah, it took me a while to really come to terms with how I felt about you, and after I thought about it for a while, I was like, you're a good person. I was ready to try something. I feel like you're going around it in circles, quite frankly. You're just like, I don't want to talk about why I felt the way I felt. I just want to move on from it. I literally feel like that's what they're saying to do. I know that may seem a little weird. I don't know. They're saying, like, basically, this person's past, you're just trying to leave it in their past, and you're just like, the way you felt makes sense at the time. Like, if you thought somebody was a bad person, or you were getting information where it looked like they were a bad person, you were saying, I'm just not going to go near that. When you found out the truth that that's not really the case, you changed your mind. To me, that's very valid, but you're also like, you're not expecting them to see it that way. So letting it be, leaving it in the past, just not really pulling it in is a smart thing to do, is what I'm getting. Because I see the Eight of Wands is where this is ending up. Things will go forward quite well if the past, once the past is released and like not an issue any longer, things will smooth out quite well, and you'll go forward quite easily. But that has to be like shut down in one sense or another. In other words, this person has to be willing to let it go. And then it goes smooth sailing after that. That's pretty much what we're getting from this. They're also getting, though, the last thing I'm getting for this is like they have pentacle feel here. They're slowly but surely going to just move on from it. Your job is just to continue on the same, just kind of like if you say like I was just sorting out my feelings at the time, just stick with the same story. Don't embellish it. Don't create anything more with it. And they will let it go. They will. I feel like it's smart because they're saying there is no good answer to this, because if you bring forward why you felt the way you did, they're going to hold that against you. They're going to be all sorts of upset about that. Although it does make sense why you felt the way you felt. You had faltered information, but still. It's best to just leave the past in the past. If you want this to work out, just don't pull it forward. That's all they're saying. Alright, I think we're done. I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.